YouTube, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world under the sound of my voice. How y'all feeling? We're back for another installment of Yapinomics with your friendly neighborhood yapper. I'm Elijah Rock. Welcome, welcome. Today, what was that? Today, we'll be embarking on a journey into what I think about. Well, first, before I start, let me just say this for the record, right? For the record, I am not against laws, rules, regulations, or things of that matter. I am against the handcuffing of law abiding citizens in matters of safety. Okay? So let me explain what I mean. I am not against gun laws, but I am against the extreme regulation of legal citizens to own firearms. Okay? I'm going to give you an example before we get into this. When I was a child in New York, they raised the fare of the bus and the train, $2.50. And as a kid, I would hear people complaining, "Oh my God, I can't believe they raising the fare again, blah, blah, blah." And in my mind, I would laugh and chuckle. I would giggle with glee because it didn't affect me because I had no plans on paying the fare regardless. They could have made the bus and train $30. I wasn't going to pay it anyway. So it didn't, it means nothing. You changing how much the train costs when I'm going to hop the turnstile means nothing. And that's my point about gun laws. Gun laws only affect law-abiding citizens, right? Like if you want a legal gun, then the government has a lot of say-so. But if you just want a gun, you can get a gun, right? Like if I just want a gun, I live in Illinois now. I could get a gun. I'm going to be honest. But because I want a FOID card, legal gun, concealed carry, there's a lot of rules and regulations, stipulations. But there are people with guns. Believe you me, there are people who just have guns. It's not hard to get a gun in any state. Let's just go on the record and say, if you want a gun in any state, you could get a gun. But if you want to legally carry a firearm, that's when now there's a problem because the government has a lot of say-so. A lot of places, your right to bear arms is infringed. Directly contrasting the Constitution, your right to bear arms is infringed by the government. I know that, and we're gonna look it up. We're gonna look at the Second Amendment, right? Because I know it says something about bearing arms, tyrannical government shall not be infringed, things of that nature. If I'm not mistaken, I could be. I'm a yapper. But we're gonna get into my point first, and then we're gonna go look at the Constitution. All right. So my point is this: I'm not against laws. I feel that guns should be regulated. For the most part, automatic weapons are illegal in America. I live in Illinois. I can guarantee you there are people with automatic weapons. They're killing each other with them. They have this little thing they put on the back of non-automatic weapons and kill each other with those, is all I'm saying. So, the fact that, oh, you can't have guns for this, if somebody wants a gun, they can get a gun. The rules and regulations only make it harder for law-abiding citizens, civilians, those who are not the underbelly of America, to get a gun. So you're not regulating guns or gun crimes. You're regulating civilians' firearm ability. Not criminals. You're I don't believe you're going to stop gun crimes with gun laws because criminals don't follow the law to begin with. That's my point. Now let's go look at the Constitution. I'm going to say it one more time before we do. I don't believe you can stop gun crime with gun laws because crimes are committed by criminals who were not going to follow the law in general. I come from New York, born and raised, Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. I now live in Illinois. Majority of the gun crimes committed in those two states are committed by young people, people who would not even be old enough to legally own a gun. And also, my opinion, there should be like a mental evaluation before you can actually get a gun license. In my opinion, I understand background checks, but I feel like you should have to get a mental eval from a state psychiatrist. I don't know about state psych. Listen, I got thoughts. We're going to talk about the Constitution first. But again, I do not believe you can stop gun crimes by making more gun laws for civilians because civilians aren't the ones committing the gun crimes. And criminals aren't going to follow your laws anyway. Again, if I just wanted a gun, I would have many of them. But because I want a legal gun, I want to follow the law while getting a gun so that I can be a law-abiding gun carrier. It's way harder. Now let's go look at the Constitution. Okay, so first of all, we're going to give a big shout out to the founding fathers. You know what I'm saying? As an American, Cuban American, but American, I was born and raised here. My father is from Cuba. My mother's from Red Hook, Brooklyn. As an American, I bleed red, white, and blue. You feel me? I'm going to be honest. That may be surprising. But yes, I am an American. I consider myself American, red, white, and blue. Good, bad, history. All of it is mine. All of it. Hey, I'm from here. Love it here. Wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Again, as I said, all the history is mine. All of it. The 400 years, the Trail of Tears, all of it. Everything. My history. American. I bleed with the country and I succeed with the country. We're going to leave it at that until another video when I talk about it. Anywho, as I was saying, we're supposed to be getting into the amendment number 2. The Second Amendment in its raw form, right? Medium well, no. Rare, okay? A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state. The rights of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Some tyrannical government might have been in something else I was reading, right? Okay, so look. The right to bear arms shall not be infringed. Totally understood, right? We got you. I have a right to bear arms. The founding fathers probably didn't see the future and what bearing arms would look like in 2024, 2023, 2022. So I can understand people thinking, we should change this a little bit. Understood. But the not be infringed part should have held true, in my opinion, right? But there are some cases where your right should be infringed, in my opinion. I understand that a lot of legal gun owners, I lost my gun. I lost my gun. And a lot of legal guns wind up in, the hands of ne'er-do-wells. I feel like the first time you lose a gun, you should go on a list. Why? Because you lost a gun. I remember the first time I lost my house keys. My mom said, okay, you're not getting house keys again until you can show me that I can trust you with house keys. What if someone breaks in our house? You lost your gun? You don't get another gun until you can prove you can't get another gun no time soon, bro. Until we find that gun, Because what if somebody now you're not, if you lose a gun, like come on now, you lost a gun. I never heard somebody say, "Hey, I lost my car." There was a movie, dude. Where's my joint? And he lost his. Again, he didn't. He shouldn't have had a car if that was the case. Nobody was gonna buy him another car, right? So I'm be honest. I understand. I don't know. You lose a gun. That don't make sense to me. I don't know people who just be losing guns. Like that's crazy. A gun, you lost it? I don't know if you should. I don't know if you're responsible enough to have a gun. You should have to wait. You lose a gun, you should lose privileges to guns for a certain amount of time. In my opinion. I understand owning a gun. Now you got the responsibility. You got to keep it in a specific safe. By all, I'm cool with all of that. I believe guns should be regulated. I told you, I believe that there should be a mental evaluation before you. The state want money, $200, $150, $25. Fill out the application. How about y'all make people pay for the application and sit with the same psychiatrist police got to sit with? Because a lot of people could pay, they could pay that. They don't got no, they record is clean. They could pay but now you gave a mentally unstable person a gun. Like, I feel like they're trying to regulate the wrong things when it comes to gun regulations. Again, I don't believe you can stop gun crimes with gun laws because criminals don't follow laws to begin with. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm getting a phone call from my brother. But again, I don't believe that you can stop gun crimes with gun laws because criminals don't follow the law. Again, that's just my opinion, but I'm a yapper, and that's why y'all came here. I believe y'all came here to hear me yap, so, But, like, if you, like I told y'all, when I was a kid, I had no intentions of paying the fare for the train or bus. So when they raised the fare, it didn't affect me. You raised the fare on the bus? Fine, do that. I wasn't going to pay the $2. I was going to hop. So you can make it $2.50, you can make it $2,050. I'm not going to pay anyway. I'm hopping the turnstile. It doesn't matter. The laws you think you're making to regulate crimes aren't going to regulate criminals because they don't follow the law. Stealing is illegal. Murder is illegal. There's a lot of illegal things. Criminals do it anyway. There's police outside to stop criminals, but they still commit the crime. Listen, I go to Walmart. They had to put the alcohol behind a cage. The alcohol is in jail. You got to ring a bell and get somebody to come break the alcohol out the jail for you. The criminals don't care. It doesn't matter. It's illegal to steal, but Walmart still had to put the liquor behind the cage. All I'm saying is, gun crimes are going to be committed because criminals don't care about the law. You could say, oh, you can't have an automatic weapon. They made switches. Now a pistol is an automatic weapon. People still there are still automatic weapons on the street. I live in Illinois. I hear them go off sometimes. If I wanted a gun, I would have so many guns. But again, because I want to be a legal gun owner, it's harder. I'm from New York. I left because to get a gun in New York, you got to sell your firstborn, give up an ounce of blood, and I'll stop right there. That was too far. But all I'm saying is you got to do a lot to get a gun in New York. I left because I didn't like the gun laws. I want to hunt, fish, do all the stuff. The wilderness guy. I want to be him eventually one day. Couldn't do that in New York. Even to be a hunter, it takes too much. It's too much. You're infringing on my right to bear arms is all I'm saying. I don't want to be infringed upon. And even when you get a legal gun, it's even harder to just defend yourself, because you defend yourself from a murderer in your own house and then you get questioned like you're on the stand. He's in my house. My family was in danger. Why? What other questions need to be asked? We're not going to talk about that. I'm not here for legal jurisprudence. I'm just yapping. And all I'm saying is that if you make gun laws to stop civilians from getting guns, you just make it easier for civilians to be sitting ducks for criminals who were never going to follow the law to begin with. He has a gun. He doesn't have to pay $25 to do the application, wait a couple months for the FOID card to come, do a class, pay $125 to do the concealed carry. He don't got to do that. He went up the block, Poppy, Ock, or Tay-Tay, and got a gun. You could go to Poppy, Ock, or Tay-Tay and get a gun. They got them for sale. I know this, because I told you I would have had one already. But because I want to go the legal route, so that if I got to boom, skiddly, bop somebody, I'm covered under the USCCA, y'all making me literally... I got to give up blood firstborn. I don't got to suck a in Illinois, but I still got to give up blood in my firstborn. And then, what if I was mentally unstable? Just blood in the firstborn is enough for me to get a gun. Y'all don't even care if I'm okay in the brain. As long as y'all get paid, I can have a gun. That's crazy. But again, I just be yapping, so who knows? Maybe I'm losing my shit, right? Maybe it's me. I don't think it is, but that's neither here nor there, even though it's both here and there. You feel me? Is all I'm saying. I feel like they worried about the wrong things. They said, oh, you can't have a ARP with a brace on it. So now I can't have an ARP with a brace on it. But all the ne'er-do-wells is still running around with their ARPs with braces on it. They got M16. They got, again, all I'm saying is the regulations y'all think are going to stop gun crimes are only stopping civilians from getting guns. Marquise shoot 'em up, bang bang. Paco murderer essay. You know what I'm saying? Little Luke school shoot 'em ups. They still could get guns. It's me, Mr. Thomas Law-abiding, who can't get a gun. But DeMarcus Shooter Op, he could get a gun. You know what I'm saying? Miguel Muertelo, he could get a gun. It's fine. Little trench coat Tommy, he could get a gun. Easy. They just, just a little bit of money to their local arms dealer, and everybody got a gun except me, because I got to wait for the government to be like, did you pay the fines? Did you pay the adequate monies? Did you wait until we send it in the mail? My father-in-law got robbed in front of the crib. I promise you they didn't have a gun license. He had a FOID card, but no grip. Got robbed in front of the crib. I promise you, the people who robbed him did not have a FOID card. I promise you they wasn't even over the age of 18. I can guarantee you that. They was not even old enough to legally own a gun. So how are your gun laws helping him in that situation? He followed the rules, but he still ain't get the blicky. He had the card, no grip. At gunpoint, got robbed. All I'm saying is that you're regulating civilians. That doesn't stop crime, because criminals are criminals. They live in a separate world. Again, I'm just yapping. What do I know? You feel me? What do I know? I just don't want to be infringed upon. That's all. I feel like I'm being infringed upon for no reason. Even in Illinois, I feel like they're still infringing. I've been looking at other states I've been looking at Texas, because bro, they, in my opinion, Texas and Florida, they got some of the best gun laws. I'm gonna be honest. Illinois, The new mayor, I'm not a fan of Chicago. I'm not a fan of Brandon Johnson, bro. Because he telling me that as long as they children, whatever crime they commit is fine. That's scary to me. I don't enjoy that. I have a daughter I gotta think about. You telling me that as long as they under it's not his fault. He was 16. The world did him wrong. I know he murdered 3 people and he got 2 gun charges, but he belongs to be home with his family. What's wrong with you? Listen, at a certain point, I'm sorry, once you over the age of 12, you are choosing to be who you are. Once you in my opinion, I'm a yapper, let me yap. Once you over the age of 12, you make a conscious decision to be the type of person you want to be. I don't care about, peer pressure. I don't care about none of that. Once you over 12, your brain is conscious enough to choose the person you want to be in life. And if you choose to be a ne'er-do-well, I hope you never do well. Respectfully. I'm done yapping. That was this session of yapinomics. I'm going to say my point one more time so it's not misconstrued. I am not against gun laws, regulations, or rules of any form. I'm against infringement on civilians to bear arms, because your gun rules, regulations, and laws do not pertain to criminals because they were not going to follow them to begin with. YouTube, check out my older videos. I'm Elijah Rock. Thank you for your time. I'll see y'all in the next one.